Just make it work.
Got an Alesis HD24 hard disk recorder, which unfortunately sounds like it's clearing for takeoff. Just power it up. You'll see when it boots. The drive noise is what it is, but the fan is something I can do about it. It sounds like the bearings aren't great in it. It's quite old. I mean, if I stall it intentionally, you can hopefully hear the difference in acoustic output. So I've got a new fan, silent fan, and if I just power it down a sec. Just power it off, spin around, hopefully without destroying anything. I read on a forum, which seems like a reasonable idea, that you can improve the airflow by chopping that out, which is just 4 little bits there. So I purchased this thing that'll go over, which was about £1.50 or something, and a silent fan, which I'll go over the specs for that later, but I'll get on with that. Okay, so I've stuck some gaffer tape on the inside to stop any metal shards going inside, metal filing, swarf, whatever you want to call it. And I've got a grinding bit on the end of the drill. This is quite an old warped one. I've got a brand new one in a packet somewhere, but obviously when I come to use it I can't find the blooming thing. So we'll give that a go. Right, that's that done. You're staring at the hole, at the abyss. I could spend my time cleaning these bits off, but really, who's going to see it? It's probably a waste of time. I'm more worried about getting any metal filings in there. So I've got another fan, which I'll go through the spec a bit later on. Obviously, you've got to make sure you're putting it in the right way around, because that would be a bit of an error. But this one, the new one, has a 3-pin connector on it, and the old one had a 2-pin connector on it. So they both have black and red, but obviously this unit won't have a speed control. It's just on or off. So I need to worry about it too much, other than getting it on the connector, which I don't know if I can enable you to see that. It's a bit dark. And right, so not sure if you can see this, I'll find out in the edit, but that white connector there is the 2-pin connector it needs to go on. So the pin spacing looks reasonable. If you can see that, probably not. So I think if I get some long nose pliers and pull that, can you see that? Need to get a better camera. Pull that receptacle off, I reckon I'll be able to drop the 3-pin connector on top of it without doing any major shenanigans. I'll just do that. Right, so there we go, she's in position. That little white connector I managed to just pull off that was on the board to allow me, sorry this isn't very, you can't see this very well, I'm sorry. But that little white connector I managed to pull off and then just drop the 3-pin on top of it. So I noted that the black was on the inside, red in the middle, so they're connected, and the yellow on the outside is obviously not connected to anything. And that, I believe, is the control cable, which we're not going to be using because there's no speed control, it's just on or off. The fan is in the right way around. I made sure I checked with the old one, because that was facing outwards with this structural bits on, and that was the inside. And I've hooked this cable just round the other bits to stop it. So obviously stop it dropping into the fan. And that, well, I suppose I should fire it up then. Right, so I'll fire it up then. Okay, that appears to be better. The noisiest thing is the drive by far. This drop leaf table resonates as well, which doesn't help. That seems to be noticeably quieter. By the time it's in a rack, I think we'll be doing alright. A quick bit about the spec then. I realise I won't be winning any awards for presentation, but it was a quick job. Dimensions are obviously the old one on the left, new one on the right. Dimensions are the same, supply voltage the same. I wanted to make sure the maximum current was about the same. No idea what the original circuitry is designed for, so 70 milliamps, 80 milliamps, close enough. The noise level is less with the new one, and the speed is also less with the new one, but the trade-off is obviously the airflow is not as good as it used to be. So the airflow is, I've worked out previously, about 67% of what it was. Obviously I hacked out that grill, so that'll help a bit, but my thinking is the original designers, I imagine they'll have played safe and imagined it being in a hot rack with a load of other equipment in all sorts of different conditions. So mine's basically going in a rack that mostly has a patch bay in it, so there's no real heat generation there, so hopefully that'll be fine. I'll soon find out anyway.
Let's make it